Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our journey and learning one little bit more of this ancient language, my native tongue, a day. And yesterday it came across 吹弹可破. 吹弹可破 is an exaggeration of how delicate one's skin can be, that you cannot even blow at it or plug on it. So have to handle with care. So that's 吹弹可破, the beauty industry's slogan almost. Okay. And today we continue with the 可, as I said, like we have so many phrases that with 可, this can, this permission or possibility meaning. So 势不可挡 in this case, it means capacity or capability, not possibility. 势不可挡, okay. Okay, there are some big words today, so let's get over the 势. I translate it as force. Okay, when I read into the icons, the symbols here, it's pretty crowded frame, right? But we can unpacking it. There may be some sad stories coming up. So, okay, the bottom here, we have the farm field labor, that definition of man symbol over here. That means power, muscle power, because it's the most commonly used farming tool, kind of like a raking tool, right? So with a hook attached to something, probably you handle here, hold your hand here, and then kind of rake through the soil. And this is the pointy parts that supposedly the whole piece is metal, so it's durable. So this is farming tool, symbolized for muscle power. And then we have the 5-finger hand symbol, kind of looking like that. 5-finger hand symbol. You can see the same symbol over here, stylized with the middle finger kind of bending. I don't know why it's bending that way. But here it's something attached to the hand, not the finger itself, right? You see there is a discontinuation. If this is on the finger, it will be one stroke continuation. That's your middle finger, okay? And here it's something protruding here, so that means it's a different object, something handheld. The left side, we have the soil symbol, the plant symbol, and the loosen the soil symbol. Okay, 3 of them stacking up one by one. The soil symbol is 2 horizontal lines with 1 vertical line, but we have to be very careful. The 1 vertical line, the bottom stop right at the second of the horizontal line. Like you cannot go like poking through it, because that then will be a different meaning. So it's quite delicately balanced. You have to go this line, vertical line, stop right here at the bottom. And the bottom second horizontal line gotta be longer than the top one. I guess just because visually it's more balanced. And also because if the top is longer than the bottom, that's a totally different word. So we gotta be careful how we represent this word. The first horizontal line is supposed to be the ground level. Then the vertical line is something growing from the ground. So it has both above the ground, under the ground portion, because it's going through that ground level, right? And then the second horizontal line is not a physical thing. It's an indicator. Occasionally in the language, we have this abstract thing that's kind of pointing right there. So, I guess only the humans can imagine such thing. And have literally like an indicator pointing toward the frame. So here is a pointer of like something growing under the ground, right? And then pointing over there to show, okay, right below the root of this growing thing under the ground. That's what I mean, like over here. And this over here means it's below the ground where things are grown from. And that's the soil. Okay, we can just simply deduce that from the visuals. And then here, the plant symbol came from, this is the ground level again, And then this trident looking thing is a simplification of a plant. It's generic. We didn't say it's a tree or grass, shrub. We don't say that. It's just something with leaf, stems, and this middle one is connected, right? Connected to the ground. So there's a stem and then there are other branches out. So that's the plant symbol. And then, okay, then we have this ground symbol that's shared, this ground level with this two strokes going here. So this two strokes that going sideways here means air pockets under the ground. Because for plant to grow, it gotta be hitting me. Okay. Sorry, is it? I got an interruption from the something. Okay, here. Can you see the screen now? Okay, so the this air pocket under the ground means the loosening of the soil. Okay, when the plant grows, it has this raking is for the loosening of the soil, because if the soil is so solidly compact, then it's very difficult for the ground, for the plant to take root in. So this soil with air pockets, with plant growing, is the purpose of this labor, this muscle power, because the muscle power is going to create this air pocket for the plant to grow. And then you may ask what this hand, instead of holding this raking thing, is doing. Do you see it looks almost like a whip? So that 5-finger hand means this hand is taking whatever is holding seriously, because all 5 fingers are used in holding that whip. I would imagine this means captured labor, forced labor to work on the field of farming. So this is not a free labor. It's not the main definition of muscle power in the field. This is a forced labor working under the whip. It's a little bit slavery over there. So that's my reading of this, and that's why eventually this character, the whole complicated thing, got abstracted into force. Because when one person can overpower the other person, can whip on the other person, that means these two persons are not equal. One is superior than the other one. I'm not sure in terms of like legally, like because one is captured slave supposed to be, or wartime like from the enemy and got into this forced labor, that this person who is working to loosen that soil to grow plant is forced to do so under the whip. So there is this power imbalance there. And because of this imbalance, this force is expressed through this way. Okay, so now let's go to the other complicated character. We have another 5-finger hand symbol over there. And now on the right is so complicated. Okay, I try to make sense, but one simple explanation by scholars is because occasionally through the language evolution, one character is going to be borrowed to mean something else. And this is one of those cases, because otherwise it's really difficult to explain. That this right structure was used to be the phoenix symbol, that kind of looking like a bird, right? So we have the beak and the 2 eyes, maybe the head, the eyes of the bird, right? And then the main body of the bird and the big, long, fluffy tail feathers here. You can almost imagine that way, that this looks like a big-tailed bird, kind of like a peacock, but it's really phoenix. It's a legendary bird. The kind of top of the bird hierarchy chain, if the bird have a pack order, that's the top, the bird god, so to speak. So The legend has it whenever a phoenix is in present, that the other birds are going to flocking around. And that it's almost like describing those human society phenomenon of when a hero or a leader shows up, a following, a crowd will follow. And eventually that bird symbol to leadership and the following of that phenomenon becomes the definition for party. Okay, in today's context, it's a political party, right? So political party has leaders in that party and people voting for that, showing support, following that party. So that's the contemporary, but the ancient, we use this phoenix bird to express that. And when a party formed together, that means they have force, right? It's not a single, even if it's a hero, it's a crowd of people following that leader, that bird. And then with that, they can stop. So this 5-finger sign then means somebody in that party is saying, holding up a hand like stop. So that becomes block. That's the easy story. Okay, I'm trying. Let's see if I have some inspiration to come up with. Okay, so it's a top and a bottom split. If we go back to the original meaning of the symbols over here. So the top have this separation. So this is number 8, but number 8 also means a separation. It has 2 parts separated by something in the middle, right? The spiky thing, almost like a needle thing, pointing upward, is separating this, right? And then we have this arch. It's almost like your original space, and then you're going to break through into some other space, and things are separating. And we have the mouse symbol, little up tilted corner, smiley face. This is a mouse symbol. So the whole thing means shot. It pronounced as a shot. You can hear today this word transformed into dang, but you can a little bit have the shot. At least the vowel and the following, like this part, is shared. So there is a heritage of the sound carrying over. But the meaning of it means some highbrow sacrifice, uplifting, because of the air splitting. That means, okay, so with the mouse symbol, it's like a one person, right? One person voicing, kind of a piercing through the crowd or the cloud or whatever space over there. So it's almost like aspiration or inspiration or something pronounced that can scatter the cloud, can gain clarity, something highly morally grounded. Okay, so that's the shot on the top. The bottom, we have this oval shape with 3 vertical lines. That's kind of like a cookware back then, simplified, squashed, and with 2 fire symbols on the bottom. So the fire symbol made up of this structure, kind of like a human, right? 120 degrees at each of the corner, kind of, this is the main body with 2 separated dots on each side. That's depicting the cone shape of the fire, main body, and the 2 sparkles occasionally escape from the main body. That's how fires work, right? So we have a double fire below the cookware. That together, it means color black, because can you imagine, like, if you put so much fire underneath a cookware, something's going to getting burned out there, and eventually the charcoal or whatever burned stuff under is going to be the color black. So this black and this highly upward pointing, high moral ground, cloud breaking, aspiring thing forms a contrast, right? Because black is like you're done, your energy is burned, and I guess I'm projecting my contemporary symbol reading into this, because in the middle, what happened? How contextualize these characters throughout the era of the language user they are living in. It could be different. Like I'm interpreting this in 2023 through my lens of what's happening in my lifetime to read into the characters. And occasionally I do imagine, like back then when the language was first created, how life was like then, and then how the characters was meant to be. So this black color plus this aspiration forms this contrast. And we can, I mean, right now I'm just imagine the black probably, if we want to use contemporary symbols, Western ones will be evil, the black, and then the shang, the top portion is the, upward pointing is aspiring, is good, right? It's upward going versus the burned, dark, the fire, right? All that symbol is Christianity symbols. So there's good and evil almost battlefield on the right and with a hand. So this, we can dramatize it to be, with your force. So the 5-finger hand here means with your force, right? With a hand, something is about using force. And then the right means this struggle, this battle, this, conflict between the high calling and the low burning, right? This two combative forces, they are kind of doing this tug war, good and evil fighting. And that's the block. It's like you're always in this tug war. Okay, that's my long-winded explanation of 势不可挡的挡. Now put together a force that you cannot. 不可, okay, let's skip over. It's a negation, and 可 means you cannot, like possible, not possibility. That means capacity, like you don't have you're not able to. 挡 means you resist that struggle, that tug war, right? There's no way that you can fight over that. So that's the whole idea of there is such a force that's beyond your control, that it's unstoppable. Okay, I'm just searching this phrase and came up with this almost, I guess it's internet novel somebody made and translated as unstoppable. I think that's appropriate. And I don't exactly know the storyline of that. Looks like some bromance and something unstoppable for them that is happening over there. All right, so that's my interpretation of 势不可挡. Cash into the kind of thing of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.